You are tuned to the Witching Hours, and I'm your host, Kanaska Carter. Today I want to get into a few quantum physics, quantum theory explanations for psychic experiences or unexplained experiences such as the Mandela effect. So, we have in quantum physics, there's the classical world, which is governed by a set of laws. And then we also have the quantum world, which is governed by a set of laws. Or so we think. The classical world is not governed by some of these quantum laws. I think that they might be. And that is what I think is an explanation for some of these unexplained experiences that people have, including myself. So, when it comes to the two sets of laws, Newton's set of laws would be for our size and time scales. And then the quantum laws would be at the level of atoms. So quantum theory, quantum mechanics, they have a certain set of laws. So in the quantum world, the second law of thermodynamics doesn't hold or apply. Things can go backwards in time or even be timeless. So what does this mean? It means that there's a lot of strange things happening on a quantum level. And you think about, we are made of atoms where these strange things are happening. So an atom has what is many people believe to have a huge amount of empty space. But many people theorize that it is not empty. So in between the nucleus and the electron that is at the edge of the atom, there's this massive amount of empty space, or a vacuum, which has a lot of, so people believe it has a lot of latent energy. So when it comes to the Mandela effect, what I think is going on is a case of superposition. So particles may be in multiple places at the same time. So I spoke about this on previous episodes of the Witching Hours. And I was talking about how essentially we can exist in multiple places at once. Many people believe it is a multiverse. However, with superposition, it's just until you actually look at it, then it goes to one fixed position. Before anything is observed, it is existing in multiple places at once. So with a video I just had go viral on TikTok. It has about 2.9 million views right now. Thousands of comments. People saw the headset. People don't remember the headset from Britney Spears' music video. Oops, I did it again. Okay. So the many different theories going around right now is that people are misremembering it. People are remembering the live performances, although thousands of people said they never saw a live performance and they remember the headset. Barbie dolls and Halloween costumes that have the headset. However, with that could just be an added accessory that they give to all the Barbie dolls, right? But the thing that makes me think it is a case of superposition is we are, first of all, we're made of the atoms that exist and act in these strange, unexplained ways. So if we're to theorize that we are made of atoms that are known to act in superposition and exist in multiple places at once, who's to say that we cannot, at our time scale and size, in a way that would appear as superposition? So until you observe the person that you're wanting to observe or the thing that you're wanting to observe, then it goes into one fixed position. So thousands of people remember seeing different colors of headsets. That's what makes me really believe this is a case of superposition. I guess you could say any type of Mandela effect would be a case of superposition in quantum theory because it's existing in multiple places at once. And then when you actually go to observe it, it goes to one fixed position. So many people saw a white headset, black headset, tan headset. They saw the color red, color pink, no headset, right? So many people are like, I have a VHS and I have the old tapes. I'm going to pull it up. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't really matter because we know now that if you go to observe it, it's gone. It's not there. Other people believe the Mandela effect could be explained with time travel or, superposition really, it would make sense if we are to think that we're living in a multiverse. Because on a quantum scale, atoms can exist in a multiverse until they are observed. So I think that is what is going on with that and with many other Mandela effects. It is simply quantum physics, that we don't just exist in one fixed place, which is, for some people it's kind of weird to wrap their minds around that. Strange things happen, and other people that I'm with observe something differently than what I'm actually seeing with my own eyes. For instance, years ago, I was looking at a picture of a cat and it had something on top of his head. I thought it looked like I believe I said a pancake. Somebody else said it looked like a hamburger, and somebody else said that it looked like something else entirely. So this is a perfect example of different levels of perception, different viewpoints of observation. Even scientists, when they are viewing things when it comes to quantum physics, they cannot agree conclusively on one level of perception because they're all viewing it from different points of observation, different viewpoints, right? So that's what I think the Mandela effect. I think it is a case of superposition. That would just seem to make the most sense. Because we can actually scientifically view these particles. And you think we're made of atoms, okay? With an atom, you have a nucleus in the center, and then there is this massive gap in between the electron that surrounds the nucleus. And this gap is, people believe it is an empty space. However, it actually is latent energy that is very powerful. So there's also time reversal symmetry. So it's a set of laws which are time reversal symmetric. These are laws that have the following features. So any process that would be in accord with these laws, any process going backwards is exactly as much in accord with these laws. This means that essentially you would have, I was watching this movie. If you've never seen What the Bleep Do We Know, I highly recommend going and watching that because it explains quantum physics very much in detail. So it means that milk jumps out of coffee as much as it dissolves in it. People get younger looking as often as they get older looking. So we can access the future as much as we can access the past. By acting now, we can easily influence the past as much as we can influence the future. So this comes into conflict with what it is that we believe. But when it comes to the quantum scale, things can actually move backwards in time or be timeless. So how do we explain psychic experiences, such as predicting someone's past, present, future, or feeling the pain of somebody instantly, or knowing information about what is happening with somebody instantly? Perhaps you have a dream about something and then you find out that that person died or that person is in danger. I feel this can be explained with entanglement, which is a quantum phenomena that happens. When we go to the scale of atoms, we see entanglement. So you take a particle and you separate it. One piece goes to the other side of the world, and one piece stays in another position. So there's a great distance in between it. So it is interconnected over great distances. So you twist one particle, or you do something to one particle, and then on the opposite side of the world, wherever this other part is, it reacts instantly. So what is happening there? Well, maybe they are still one. Maybe there is no space, and space is just an illusion. So there's billions of bits of information that your brain is processing all the time, but we only really process or can see like 2,000 bits of that. So there's so much more going on in our world that we are not able to perceive. So perhaps that means we can't see ourselves spread out in multiple places at once. Say for instance, the physical body could be spread out in a case of superposition. Let's just say. What would that look like? Maybe the bits of information we cannot see is ourselves spread out in multiple places. This would explain so many things associated with the Mandela effect. I feel that it just explains it perfectly, because why are multiple people seeing different things? You know, why are thousands of people seeing one thing, thousands of people seeing something else, thousands of people seeing something else? Well, it's like we have multiple timelines coexisting, or multiple points of fixed positions that we could go to. And depending on your level of perception, that would determine what it is that you see. So because we have these two sets of laws, the classical world versus the quantum world, we don't really think that the things that happen on the quantum scale can happen to us, but I really think that would explain so many psychic experiences. So Bose-Einstein condensates is a unified, one particle unified into one quantum state governed by one wave function. So it's one particle, but it is unified. So it's one wave function, but it looks like it's in multiple places. So there's something called the collapse of the wave function. The quantum world, everything is in superposition, multiple possibilities. The classical world, these possibilities collapse into one particular choice or place. So the collapse of the wave function. Maybe we are just a wave function. We're spread out spatially. And then once we are observed, we collapse into one particular position. So we're waves of potential electrons. It's like this ocean or this beautiful lake of potentiality in the unified field. This is what we're made of, right? This is what each and every one of us is made of. These waves of potential electrons existing in multiple places at once. But we think that we are just in one fixed place. So entanglement is one of the main properties of quantum mechanics. So a particle in superposition, when you're not looking at or observing it, it is in superposition. The moment you check on it, it snaps and goes just into one of those possible versions. So when it comes to psychic experiences with entanglement, two electrons created together are entangled. Send one to the other side of the universe. You do something to one, it happens instantly to the other one. So this could explain why twins, for example, so many cases of twins, they'll have the same haircuts growing up, they'll date somebody with the same name, but they're separated at birth. They'll have the same kind of toothpaste. So maybe there is no separation. There's still one. It would be just like separating two electrons and sending a piece of it somewhere else and then keeping one electron somewhere else. It's still touching, right? We just think that things are separate, but everything is vibration. So what's going on here? Objects that are large enough to be seen by the naked eye can be seen in two places at once. You can literally take a photo of that. So with Bose-Einstein condensates, one object when detected is in one position. There are states of matter when detected that have created, that has been created now, where objects can be seen in multiple positions simultaneously. And this can go up to 3,000 places, 3,000 positions at once. That just feels like the best explanation for the Mandela effect. Superposition. Bose-Einstein condensates. And then we also have single wave functions, singular particles. Even though they are a single wave function, the wave function has multiple positions. And it looks like it's more than one thing, but it's actually one wave function. One thing. It's the same thing. It's one particle in 3,000 different locations at the exact same time. So who's to say that we can't be in 3,000 locations at the exact same time? Maybe we can. It's interesting to think about. Maybe there's another version of me somewhere else and I have black hair, you know, or another version of me somewhere else and I have a massive nose that comes out to here. You know, maybe there's another version of me somewhere and I have a unibrow. Right? Who knows? Or maybe another version of myself and I'm sitting over at the table right now eating something. Or I'm sitting on the couch somewhere. Or I'm making a phone call. Spread out in multiple places at once. And people don't want to think about that's what we're made of, but it is what we're made of. So, it's fun to think about. We're so powerful, right? To think that we're made of atoms which have this powerful amount of energy in them. We can literally manifest anything that we want. Our consciousness allows us to control this powerful energy. And once we tap into that, the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are as endless as we are. Right? So in the empty space of an actual atom, which is what we're made of, there is an incredible energy. So if we can tap into that incredible energy, we can probably change the world or change our lives for the better. But many people, they just view us as these robotic mechanical creatures, that there is nothing happens after we die, or that we can't exist in multiple places at once, but I really believe that we can. So if you were to take the latent energy in the vacuum of an atom, it's 1 trillion times more energy there than all of the mass of all the stars and all of the planets out to 20 billion light years. So that's kind of crazy to think about how powerful that is in one atom, right? Take the vacuum and extract the latent energy in that. Like, imagine what we can do if we just really tapped into the true nature of who we are. We could literally change the world for the better. So something to think about, for sure. So recently I was talking about I had missing time on my social media. I posted about how I had missing time 15 years ago. So this is kind of strange to me because what had happened, I was home by myself. I called everybody, texted everybody, see if somebody could come and hang out. Nobody could come and hang out. I was terrified, absolutely terrified, and home alone by myself. And right at 1 a.m., I was not even close to being tired, okay? It was like everything just faded to black in front of my eyes, just like in a movie when something fades to black. And then I don't remember anything after that except waking up at 5 a.m. on the dot, like literally 4 hours to the second, right to the minute. I woke up and had an excruciating pain in my left ear. Could not hear out of my ear for a week. And then in that time, I began repeating back to people what they were thinking. So I'm convinced that place and that space and that area was haunted. My brother also had strange experiences with aliens. I really believe it was an alien implant in my ear, and I was abducted. I've had so many experiences with aliens over the years, and so has my brother, so has my mother. But even my boyfriend one time he was banging on the window at 3 a.m. after I had a dream that his dead girlfriend lured him out of the bedroom. And they were talking on the couch. And then I woke up to banging on the window at 3 a.m. And he didn't know how he got outside. And the next morning, he didn't remember a thing. He couldn't remember it happening. But in my dream, whatever lured him out of the room had no face. But it felt like the spirit of his dead girlfriend. It was very strange to me. Also, my brother, he had this large bump at the back of his ear that popped the night that I believe he was visited by some sort of an alien creature that took over his girlfriend in some way, because he had a dream that he was opening doors, and then he woke up to his girlfriend peering over him, and she had very small eyes. Her eyes were huge and black. And she said, "What are you looking for?" Okay. And then she went back to sleep. And then after that, she woke up and she said she was having a dream that he was opening cupboards. And in the dream, she said, "What are you looking for?" But he said that her face, it looked like she was like an alien or something. And that was the night the thing on the back of his ear popped. And there's so many people that believe they have alien implants or tracking devices in their ear, including myself. So we both had a strange experience that had to do with an alleged implant in the ear or near the ear. So I really believe that there are alien abductions happening, and that I have been involved with that in some way, because I had missing time for 4 hours. I was not even close to being tired. Nobody was there that could have drugged me either. I was home by myself, right? And I was calling people all night because I felt like I was being watched. I could just sense that something was watching me and I had to get out of there. If you've ever had an experience like this, where you have experienced the Mandela effect, if you've had missing time, if you've had a paranormal experience, anything like that, please go to my website, kanaska.com, and reach out to me, shoot me a message, and may potentially get you on the show in the future. But there's so much going on in our universe that we are told to ignore, and I think it is time that we started accepting that a lot of these unexplained paranormal experiences can be explained with quantum physics. Because we are made of atoms, right? And if atoms are experiencing this on a quantum scale, who's to say we can't have these unexplained things happen at our size and time scale? Thank you for watching this show, and I hope that you have a great week. That is it for the Witching Hours for this episode. I will be back every single Wednesday talking about strange things in the universe. So until next Wednesday, I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will see you soon. Take care. I'm your host, Kanaska Carter.